What's going on, guys? Welcome to another film update in my film update series that I do first day of every month, or try to. So far I've been succeeding, and that's been good. So this month, haven't got too much new stuff. I think everything I got, as a matter of fact, was used. There's a used store that I shop at all the time, whether I order through the mail or go there myself, but I did get to complete a lot of collections this month that I've been planning to, and like I said, haven't gotten any boutique labels or anything like that. Everything is very much quantity this month, so got to grow my shelves a lot. I'm well past 1,200 already. Don't know the exact number, but definitely past 1,200. And not going to say quantity over quality, because we definitely got a lot of quality here, but just not a lot of like new releases or anything like that. But getting started, the trilogies that I've completed or gotten all at once, I'm just going to show at once instead of one at a time, because they kind of go together anyway. I got the Deep Blue Sea trilogy, so we got 1s, 2, and 3. The first one is a classic, and I've seen it before. Love it. Haven't seen it in a while, so revisiting this one is going to be so much fun, because I have fond memories of Deep Blue Sea. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. The CGI is a little wonky because of when it came out, but you got Sam Jackson in here being Sam Jackson at his finest, and it's a great shark movie. It's above B level, and it's a lot of fun. And 2 I've seen. Again, it's above B level, obviously not as good, but it's still fun. And 3 is going to be a first time watch, so that's that trilogy. I've got the Conjuring Trilogy, 1, 2, and 3. And third, first time watch, haven't seen this one yet. The first 2, huge fan of. I recently watched the Insidious trilogy, and liked it, but I remember the Conjuring 2 movies being better from my memory. I don't know, but it's been a while, so I forget a lot of what happens in the first 2. Like I said, I haven't seen the third one, but it's going to be fun to binge. Maybe I'll review them. I'll think about that. Scream 4. This came with a slip, which is awesome, but it also came with this stupid sticker that I can't take off. Regardless, beggars can't be choosers. And I really, really liked the 4th Scream movie. I was given the first 3 on DVD in like a combo pack. Not like huge on the Scream franchise, but since I had that, I decided to go with the Blu-ray of Scream 4 to complete that. So that's the whole Scream franchise on my shelf. Here's one to talk about. Killer Joe is a film that I watched 2-3 months ago for the first time. Caught it on Tubi. Love Matthew McConaughey. Love William Friedkin. Haven't seen his entire filmography, but anything he does is pretty much gold. And he's got like a warped kind of mentality too. He's a very unique filmmaker in the sense that he's big on like story and plot and really big character development, but he can dive into characters' dark side of their psyche really, really well. Matthew McConaughey does like one of the most sick, twisted, and inhuman performances while still being grounded and down to earth. Like, he's not the serial killer per se. He's like not even, you could call him a hitman, but he's kind of like a man for hire when it comes to either messing with people or getting to somebody that needs something done for them. But the entire third act is really, really uncomfortable to watch, to say the least. No spoilers at all, but it's the most uncomfortable, unsettling situation that takes place in like a trailer. Like it basically involves a dinner scene in a trailer. I'll go that far, but like it's one of the most unsettling scenes I've seen ever, and it's really hard to watch. It's not a film that I'll even watch all the time. But it lingered with me so much, and I love the performances from McConaughey. You got Thomas Hayden Church, Juno Temple in here, and they all kill it in Killer Joe. No pun intended. Well, pun totally intended, what am I saying? Go check out Killer Joe if you haven't seen it. If you can handle that kind of stuff. Like, it's a heavy set film that it's hard to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow, I'll just say that. House Party is a film that I want to watch the four of them. And I've never seen them. I've heard about them recently, but just the trailers and the cover kind of reminds me of like, I don't know, like an urban Project House or Project X, sorry. Like an urban Project X and like Fresh Prince vibes or something like that. Definitely screams 90s. I think it's an 80s film. It's actually 1990s, so there you go. Screams 90s, and just looks like a blast. I have no idea what to expect. I mean, I know it's a comedy, but I don't know how much drama they're going to put into it, or if it's just straight up like party movie, you know, friend gathering movie kind of thing. But it looks friggin' awesome, so I'm sold on all the advertising that went into it, and never seen it. Have no idea what to expect, so that's going to be fun to visit. Another Bond film to add to the collection, Tomorrow Never Dies. This one I have a lot of memories with. More memories than GoldenEye, honestly. Although I remember liking GoldenEye better, this one I've just seen a lot more. And I played, I think, one video game of it for the PS1. Loved that. And it was just one of the Bond films that I watched the most as a kid, so it's going to be nice to revisit it because I haven't seen it as a kid or maybe a teen. It's been a while. It's been definitely over a decade. But yeah, I'm excited to look at that. Pierce Brosnan was a good Bond in GoldenEye and that one. And yeah, that's going to be fun. Here's a huge doozy. Now, I'm wondering if I want to review these or not, because I specifically bought this for a reason, okay? This is The Happening by M. Night Shyamalan. I watched this when I was like 18 or something like that. The stupidest movie I've seen. I was like, this is garbage. I hate this. And then growing up as a film fan and like watching other people talk about movies and stuff like that, I never revisited it, but I pretty much already knew the story and seen tons of reviews, tons of talk about it when it was like the worst, best movies ever made kind of thing. And one of the worst, best movies from Shyamalan I've seen, one of my favorites anyway, is After Earth. After Earth is the best film to watch as a comedy, even though it was intended to be a drama, thriller, or whatever, action movie. It's amazing to watch as a comedy. So I bought this to double feature with After Earth. And I might do a review, separate reviews, but as a double feature with The Happening, because I think that would be good. I did watch The Happening the other day again. I'm going to save a lot for the review, but I think Shyamalan, I think he likes to make alternate dimensions, sort of. I think he likes to, like, make worlds seem like, you know, normal life, but like just a little bit twisted. I think that's what he goes for, but I don't, like, it doesn't work. It just comes off as weird. But I think that's his intention. I'm guessing anyway. It's just a dumb film. Like, the decisions in it are just dumb as a director, because Zoe Deschanel and Mark Wahlberg are great actors, and it's either they smoked a lot of grass, or M. Night Shyamalan was just like, act stupid, act as much as not a human as you can possibly act. So that's my guess. I don't know. That's just a guess. Another Bond film, Diamonds Are Forever. This is a Sean Connery film. Classic Bond. There's not much to say about Sean Connery other than the fact that he was one of the best and, of course, most misogynist Bonds there was. Womanizing, whatever you want to call it. But he like fit into the Bond shoes like perfectly. I did watch this the other day too. They're the slower Bonds, like they're harder to keep your focus on for a long time, but it's still a classic, and I really enjoyed and had a good time with it. I'm going to show these both at the same time as well, even though they have nothing to do with each other, other than the fact that they take place in the cold. I haven't seen either of these, by the way, so they'll be first time watches. And I really like to watch films that take place in the cold and winter time, because it just makes you feel it brings out that setting, like Frozen, the horror Frozen, not the Disney Frozen, and stuff like that. Like 30 Days of Night I watched recently. Such a cold feeling movie. Anyways, I've never watched these before. This is going to be first time watches. Cold Prey. This is a foreign film. Scandinavian setting, and don't really know what it's about. It's obviously a horror and might be a slasher, might be something else, but that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I know there's a second one too, so as soon as I find the second one, I'll be doing that one as well, or watching it. And then the other one is Blood Runs Cold. This is also a foreign film. This one, apparently, the weather was so freezing that the cameras actually ended up breaking a lot. So getting this film made was apparently a doozy. I hear that, you know, it is kind of filled with plot holes, and it is a film that you want to watch more for the experience. And if you're a slasher fan, I'm sold as a slasher fan. A slasher in the cold, I'm, you know, like something like some maniac running around with an axe in the freezing ass cold sells me immediately. So I'm really excited to check that one out for the first time. Okay, I'm not showing these at the same time, but they're kind of related as well. Phoenix Forgotten is it's a story that's based on something that happened. These lights that showed up in Arizona in, was it 2013? Or it was 97, okay, I'm way off. 97, March 13th, 97. You had all these lights that looked like UFOs, and they even showed a lot of clips of them, I remember, in the movie Signs, where you have the lights in a row in the sky. So this is based on that, and this is basically a found footage film about some kids that get lost in the area where it happened, and it's their final footage. Now apparently there was actually footage found of some kids vacationing or something like that. I don't know, I doubt that a lot of shit that happens in this movie is actually super accurate, but the idea of anything involving extraterrestrial life, UFOs, aliens, anything like that always scares the shit out of me. And even if it's not supposed to be a horror film, the idea of it is still terrifying, even in a fun way. Like, you can still make a good action movie, which this is, and do a good job with it, and do like just the idea of it is creepy to add to that kind of film, regardless of if it's like a horror movie or not. This is completing a collection. I have the first remake, because this is a remake of an original film. But I have the first remake, and I've watched it already. That's the only one that I watched, actually. These I've never seen before. I have no idea what to expect. They could be ass. I might not want anything to do with them at all, or they might be fun additions to the first remake. Pulse 2 and Pulse 3. So, double feature to watch for the first time. I'll probably watch the three of them. I'll rewatch Pulse and then watch Pulse 2 and 3 for the first time. Like I said, they could be total shit and unwatchable, or they could be fun enough to, you know, keep. So, we'll see. We'll see how those two go. This is a weird one. This is a weird one in plot, okay? This is Primeval, or Primeval, oh, Primeval, but they spell it eval. Kill a crocodile film for sure, and that's what they advertise it as. But this seems like it takes place in Africa, and this seems like, you know, a civil revolution, Civil War revolution type militia thing going on with like rebels and you know, two groups kind of fighting each other, and like a political war movie kind of thing with a crocodile thrown in. Like, it's one movie and then a crocodile comes. It's really weird. Like, yeah, it's kind of like The Rental that just came out recently, where you have like kind of a drama thriller going on and then a serial killer shows up. It's like that, except a crocodile shows up. It's still a fun movie, inspired by a true story. Again, how much of that could be true, honestly? I watched it. It's okay. It's like I said, it's way different than I expected it to be, but it's still fun. It's an enjoyable, a little bit above B movie film. Still a B movie though, like certainly a B movie. Orlando Jones is in it, I think. Yes, he is. He does a really good job in that movie. Here's another Bond film. This is a Roger Moore one, Octopussy. So we got Sean Connery, Roger Moore, and Pierce Brosnan this month. I've only watched this once, so this is going to be the first time in a long time that I watched this one, but love the name, always loved the name, obviously, Octopussy. And funny story about that, I had a little cousin that I showed him this movie, and then first thing he does is go run to my aunt and is like, Dexter has a movie called Octopussy, and I'm like, great idea, Dex, great idea, Dex. But yeah, that'll be fun to revisit as well. Here's another one that's going to be a blast to revisit. Armageddon. It's going to be fun to revisit because I remember loving this film. It's a Michael Bay film, which say what you want about Michael Bay. Most of his films I'm not a fan of. He's usually about spectacle. But this one seems to be more of a film from my memory that is, I can't say grounded, because it's certainly not grounded, obviously. But just a lot more well made, I guess. That's what I remember it being. I remember the performances being fantastic. There's a lot of people in here that I forgot were in here, including Steve Buscemi and Ben Affleck. I forgot that those two guys were in it, so that'll be cool to watch again. Here's one that I'm building the collection for. This is the original X-Men. I don't have X-Men 2. I have the third one, and I'm slowly collecting them all. My plan is to review them all at once, make a X-Men review series, so just slowly trying to find them for as cheap as I can. I picked that one up for $3, and they're the type of movies that hopefully I want to get is, all of them for under $10. I know Logan is more than that. It's, those newer films are harder to find for cheaper prices, but yeah, I'm just slowly collecting them one at a time kind of thing, or as many at a time that I can. Okay, really shitty, do you want to call it a shark movie? Sci-fi kind of deal going on. Roger Corman presents Dino Shark. I bought this specifically because I absolutely love Sharktopus. Sharktopus is one of the best bad movies ever made, in my opinion. Maybe not, but it's one of the best bad movies you could sit through and just have a cheesy blast with. And I'd never seen this one before. I like Sharktopus better, but this is also in the same vein of, Roger Corman produced B movies that look like sci-fi movies but are not on the Sci-Fi Channel, but kind of along the same realm of those type of films. This one I bought strictly for the cover. I just saw the cover and I thought, I'll check it out. It was cheap. It was $3 as well. Area 407. It's also called Tape 407. And this is a found footage film where people, this plane crashes in this area, like test area that's kind of like secret and hidden, kind of like Area 51 idea. And then they're chased down by a bunch of prehistoric monsters. Found footage. I mean, I'm sold. Found footage, prehistoric monsters, B movie, obviously going to be low budget and cheesy, and the effects are probably not going to be that great, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, not going to lie. It's not fantastic, it's not horrible, but there's not enough dinosaur stuff going on. There's not, it's just people running around from things that you barely see, and when they show it for like a second and a half, and it's not enough. It's not enough. There needed to be way more variety of creatures, I think I can't even speak, and not like they just focus on one kind of dinosaur, and it seems like there's only one in the entire area, where I thought there was going to be like a group of different monsters, even like going, other than dinosaurs, going into other mutants kind of thing. But it's a film that it sounded like it had a great premise, but they could have done a lot more with, basically. This is a film that I came across a trailer on another film, which is usually how I hear about movies, and it sounded great. This has Billy Bob Thornton in it, and it's about a killer bear. And this is Into the Grizzly Maze. I'm sold by the trailer for sure, and Billy Bob Thornton playing in a bear hunting film. He's kind of perfectly cast in that kind of film. and very, very B film, very cheap effects, although there's a lot of practical effects in it, which is great. Especially towards the end, you get a lot of focus on really well done and really detail-oriented practical effects on the people with the blood and wounds and stuff like that. So it's fun. It's a fun killer bear movie, killer creature feature movie kind of thing. This is the other one that I was talking about with Phoenix Forgotten. This is Phoenix Incident. Same idea, taking place around the same lights that showed up in 97. Again, found footage, but this is more like a found footage / mockumentary. And it follows, again, another group of kids that go missing while on vacation. I think they're dirt biking. And this shows a lot more of like the alien stuff going on, but like as monsters. So you get more like aliens style monsters. They don't look like aliens, but they're more like creatures that are like, you know, creatures you would see in The Descent, or what's some other fucking alien, like if anybody's seen Feast, creatures that look like that. So it goes for that a lot more. It's a lot more fast paced, found footage still, but just a little bit more B movie than Phoenix Forgotten, but a different kind of pace and tone to it kind of thing. I liked Phoenix Forgotten better, but Phoenix Incident I still recommend very much. One of the greatest films I've seen for the first time in 2021. So good. So violent though, and so violently brutal and violently disturbing and sad. Hotel Mumbai. This is a very well shot and well done film, but I'm telling you, it feels like there's scenes that go on for half an hour of just terrorists shooting people with AK-47s. Over and over, room to room, boom, 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 repeat, same thing, repeat, same thing, repeat, and it just goes on. And the amount of innocence that they show being slaughtered on screen is just really, really hard to watch. So know that going in. If that stuff bothers you, don't watch Hotel Mumbai. But it's such a beautiful, powerful film, especially with the hotel staff coming together and trying to calm all these people down and doing, in my opinion, an amazing job with it. The way, like if it happened that way in real life, like the chef especially, there's a chef character in the film, for anybody who's seen it, does such a phenomenal job. And then there's a scene too where one of the Indian guys, he says like to a woman who's really frightened that, you know, taking his turban off would bring great shame to his family, but he will do it for her just to make her comfortable because, you know, the guest is number one kind of thing. And that scene is probably my favorite in the film. And it's full of those kind of moments that just really touch you and tell a beautiful story that's true, that actually happened. Which is the worst part, the fact that it actually happened. Those are the worst kind of stories to see when it's displayed like that kind of thing. I hadn't seen this in a long time, so I bought it to watch for the first time in a long time. I remember some things in it, but a lot of the things were kind of refreshed my memory in this watch. This is Triple X. Didn't love it. It's all over the place story. Like the way it starts, it goes way in another direction by the end of the film. And like the third act just feels like a Bond film, but like a Bond film that somebody didn't know how to make and especially write. The writing is the worst in this film. That like horrible. I don't know. Like I think the writer especially was trying to make a Bond-inspired film, but didn't know how to make a Bond film. Like it looks like something that's trying to be a Bond film so heavily, but just doesn't know how to hit the marks properly. So that's what it felt like to me anyway. Alright, we're almost done here. Another X-Men film, Days of Future Past. So that's going to be added to the collection of X-Men films. Ooh, another one. Not really X-Men franchise, but the Wolverine. I have not seen X-Men Origins, the Wolverine, or the Wolverine, so both of them will be the first time watch. I I'm pretty sure they made this one to make up for X-Men Origins Wolverine, if I'm not mistaken on that one. Here's two films that I bought, having only seen the first, and again, I only seen the first when it came out, so I hadn't seen it since. And they were cheap, so I'm just like, you know what, why not? I like Martin Lawrence, so let's watch Big Mama's House. I remember it being kind of like a spy version of Robin Williams' movie, come on, Mrs. Doubtfire, kind of like in that realm. And I remember it being like fun, especially as a kid, and it was still good. It was way cheesier than I remember it being, but it was still pretty good. Like fun, you know? And I totally forgot that Paul Giamatti's in here. Totally forgot. This was when he was in the blue guy. I forget the movie's name, but the one where he's painted blue with Frankie Muniz in it. That was like around near that time kind of thing. He kind of looks the same as he did in that movie with Frankie Muniz. But yeah, so enjoyed watching that again, and I bought the second one too, which I'd never seen before. This one wasn't so good. But it completes the collection. I won't get rid of it. I'll still keep it. This was a fun film that I'd never heard of until maybe a month ago, and I just saw it on you know how some DVDs come with those slips that like advertise other films inside the case? I saw this one, and then I checked out the trailer, and I'm like, that seems cool. And then I found it for $3, so I went to pick that up for $3. This is Perfect Creature, and this is a pretty well-made vampire film. This is a much grounded version of Underworld, kind of. It gave me Underworld vibes, but it's much more grounded, and it's also a period piece, so it takes place kind of more in the older days, or does it? It doesn't. Maybe it's an alternate universe. I don't know. It felt like it kind of combined both. But there is an actor here too that plays in Green Street Hooligans. He plays one of the hooligans. He plays the hooligan that betrays Elijah Wood's character, and Charlie Hunnam's character kind of talks to the rival gang. He's that guy in Green Street Hooligans, and he's the lead in here, and the lead vampire. He definitely overacts in this film, and if you watch it or if you've seen it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He overacts like crazy. But the movie itself is dark and gritty in that Underworld way, but it's not as flashy as Underworld. Certainly not as action central as Underworld. It's more like, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of a period piece that combines like Daybreakers-ish but darker with kind of Underworld vibes. It's kind of hard to describe, but I'm describing it as best as I can. So it's fun. I recommend it if you can find it. Ooh, another Bond film. We got a Daniel Craig one this time. I forgot that I got 4 Bond films. I thought it was only 3. So there you go. You've got a Daniel Craig, 1 Roger Moore, 1 Sean Connery, and 1 Pierce Brosnan. Perfect mix. This is to complete the collection. So the only one I need right now is Spectre. So I got Casino Royale, and I don't have No Time to Die. What am I talking about? So I need Spectre and No Time to Die, and then I'll have all 5 Daniel Craig era Bond films. This is the last film. We've got Lily Sobieski in The Glass House. I think this is a remake. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is a remake, unless the other Glass House has nothing to do with this. But I watched this as a teen. It was okay. It always stuck in my mind though. Lily Sobieski is so beautiful. She is hot as fuck. And I don't know why she didn't continue with films, but man, like everything she popped up in, she looked so good. Joyride, amazing. And it's corny. It's a thriller, and it's not, you know, the smartest thriller in the world, but it's an entertaining kind of popcorn film that'll have you kind of biting your nails in parts, and there is some disturbing ideas that go on in this film. Basically, she's under the care of this like rich couple when her parents die, and this rich couple ends up having a lot of like sketchy things that they end up doing around the house that she keeps landing on and finding, and she keeps wondering what they're up to, kind of thing. And it's sort of a mystery thriller story kind of thing that goes on. But it's definitely very 2000s-ish. You get those vibes a lot in that film. It is a 2000s film, if I'm not mistaken, right? Oh, I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, 2001. So, right in the cusp of the early thousands. Yeah, 2000s. I don't know how to differentiate like 2000s from 2011 to 20. Do you call them the 11s? The 10s, I guess. But yeah, the 2000s is really early, and it has those vibes, and it's fun for what it is. But it's not perfect, but it's not terrible either. So that's all of it, and that's my haul for January. A lot of them are going to be first-time watches, but I'm glad I got a lot of those trilogies, like The Conjuring and especially the Deep Blue Sea. I'm excited to watch Deep Blue Sea 3 for the first time, even though I got total mixed reviews on those. So we will see. Lots more reviews to come. I'm going to be reviewing a lot of these, and I already have some plans for other series and individual films that I want to review on the channel. So stay tuned for those if you like. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like the sound of my voice, and if you like my film reviews, check out the ones that are already here. Check out my update series that come out first of every month, like I said, and I will be back soon. So till then, take care, have a good one, and cheers.